Hey everyone, welcome back. I have a fun little video today that's just something I decided to do for fun because I saw a Warrior Cats art challenge type thing going around and I decided to make a Wings of Fire one because I don't see anyone really making this kind of thing for Wings of Fire. So I decided to make one. It's loosely inspired off of the original one that has been going around. But anyway, this one has a dragonette, ship, protagonist, animus, hybrid, queen, villain, tribe, and sibling favorite boxes that you can interpret however you want. As we'll get into, I'm going to be filling it out myself here so you can see my picks, but I'll have this up on my DeviantArt account, Tiger Lily Studios, and my Pinterest account, Raptor Blue. Don't ask me why those are different. I just don't have the heart to change my Pinterest one. But anyway, so I just thought this would be really, really fun to go over. It's just the 9 little pictures here. I'll be coloring in, starting with the dragonette. So my favorite dragonette is actually Mink, who's the Icewing dragonette that's Snowfall's little sister in The Dangerous Gift. I like her the best, but because I had an Icewing I wanted to do later and I was trying to vary the tribes a bit, I decided to go back on my original favorite dragonette before The Dangerous Gift came out, and that was Cliff. And I still really like Cliff. He's still second. And he pushes that. I guess maybe like somewhat having a little brother, I appreciate Cliff a lot. Cliff's just really funny and cute, and I like that. I just like his personality. He feels like one of the most unique dragonettes. Like, I don't care for Auklet, and of course I don't know Auklet that much, and I don't know, like, I guess Bumblebee, Cliff, and Mink to some extent are the ones we know the most. But I feel like most of the dragonettes are girls with similar personalities. You know, like Auklet, Bumblebee, even Peacemaker, even though he's a boy, is very similar to them. So I like that Cliff and Mink are very different, especially, you know, Mink has got like a cute little stutter and everything, but Cliff is really unique too. He's got a lot of confidence. He's, he's really well written. He acts just like a toddler. It's really cute. And I like that he has, interests and things. It makes him unique and set apart. He likes singing and stuff. And I just really like that about him. I think his dialogue is just on point. He really, like, Escaping Peril is a good book regardless of Cliff in it, but he just makes it really, really good. And so I really like Cliff a lot. I'd like to see him do more later. He's one of the most he's one of the dragonettes with the most going for him. So I have never actually drawn Cliff before. I've only drawn one dragonette. That was Mink. So I just kind of went with what I feel like a dragonette should have, which is like smaller horns, and it says he has a long neck, which I think is true. Ruby's known for her like long neck, so I went with that. And like a reddish orangey, slightly pink color palette, a little bit like a pink gray color, because I just thought it looked young. I guess I was just trying to make him look young, and some like cute little jewelry, because he is a prince after all, so you need some like aesthetics. And if you can't tell, the background's actually supposed to look like sheet music a little bit. I know I messed that up really badly, but I somewhat, I'm not really good with backgrounds yet, so I was just trying to do something that was kind of for Cliff, and then I went back later and filled in those notes with a different color other than black, so that way they would actually stand out and you could see them. But yeah. And Cliff has orange eyes. They gave him his little orange eyes there. Yeah, I totally changed those notes later. I went back and fixed that. And I'm also learning shading. Slowly but surely. I'll get better at it as I go, I'm sure. But yeah, Cliff's great. Cliff's a great boy. I really hope he has some like a POV or something later would be awesome. Because we only have Peril as like a Skywing POV right now. And I was really disappointed that Sky didn't get a POV for book 15, but maybe we'll get Cliff for the next arc if she makes an arc, for, because I think he would be really, really good for that. Him and Bumblebee and Mink should have books. They would be great. Yep, and that's Cliff. Just keeping it simple. But you can do whatever you want for the Dragonette box. Then to my favorite animus, which I really, really went back and forth about because I don't know. I like all the animus, really. I was almost tempted to do Jerboa, and then I said, no, I don't really like... I like Jerboa for other reasons, not because she's an animus. Like, in what she did as an animus. And then I thought, well, Fathom, and I was like, no. And then finally I realized, I was like, wait a minute. Opal's an animus. How did I forget that? Like, she was a pretty big character in the last book. And I was like, yes, Opal is my favorite animus. And yeah, I really like Opal. I wish she got some more attention. Which she's new. I get she's new. She probably will eventually. But like, I love her. She's so wise, which is something like she's wise and confident and content with how much magic she did and what she chose as her gift. And, you know, like she was thrown in prison and didn't, like, as far as we know at least, she didn't exercise her power at all. She waited for it to work because she was confident in it, and I really appreciate that. She's wise, she's kind, and when she let Snowfall see Glacier's POV, which she didn't even really need to do because Snowfall was fine at that point, so it was just really sweet of her. And she's also got a sassy edge. I like that. Like, her gift has definitely got some, like, sarcastic sassiness in the gift of vision. I like that. So yeah, Opal just ended up being my favorite for sure. And it's definitely the last one I would have expected because I was thinking about the traditional ones and I was like, no, I actually really don't think of those. Like, I like those characters for other reasons, not because of the animus thing, but I like Opal a lot. Plus, it was really fun to color her. I wanted her to, like, look almost like some kind of spirit hovering over her gift, but it didn't really look that way, so I don't know. I guess you can pretend she's just swooping down or something to be beside her ring, or maybe she's totally solid or something. I really played around with how to get that shimmering, opalish color effect on her that Snowfall describes, which is like different colors depending like on the lighting, I guess, or like the way you look at her, which I thought was really cool because I've seen people like make OCs kind of like that, but it's cool to have one in canon that actually has that opalish, shimmery, iridescent kind of look. It makes them unique. Gonna be hard to replicate, but really unique. Yeah, but I really enjoyed The Dangerous Gift a lot as a book. I think it's a good book, and I think it was really an interesting animus gift. And yeah, that's the color palette. I just wanted to make it look like she was like in an icy area. I kept it simple and added her ring, her little gift there. I don't know if I did it correctly. I just tried to do like a little ring with like almost like a curvy side to it with an opal, of course. And I gave her an opal earring because why not? And purple eyes. She needs purple eyes. She's opal. I should have changed the opacity a little bit or something if I wanted to make her a ghost. Oh well. It's also kind of sad that she tied her spirit to that ring, you know? She can never rest now. Anyway, then on to my favorite villain. So that is obviously Darkstalker, who's not only my favorite Wings of Fire villain, but also my favorite villain in general. His book is just really good. His dialogue is awesome. It's just creepy and it's great. And I like that he's not totally evil, really. He's like, he has redeeming qualities about him. You know, you can fight me on that if you want. I don't care. I'm not looking to fight an argument. He does have redeeming qualities. He tries to be a good friend. And ultimately, at the end of the day, he's way too powerful to beat without him just making a blunder so bad or something. Or trusting someone so much that he fails. Which is what happens every time he does fail. Sorry, there's spoilers in here. But, like, the only reason he's defeated twice is because he trusts people. That's it. And that's wonderful that a villain is undone because, like, of their trusting in others, which is something you just don't see in villains a lot, which I appreciate about Darkstalker. He's charming, he's funny, he's just so unique. You know, you could read me his dialogue and be like, Darkstalker, because it's just like, there's really not many other villains like that. And I also totally redesigned him here because I hated my old design. He looked too young and too not Darkstalker. And I also played around with the posing a bit. Just to show you, I can do other poses. I just cannot draw a forward-facing dragon. But, yeah, so basically I just played around with the posing a little bit, and I wanted his wings up so you could see his little silvery scales under there, which I redid. and changed. I also made his color palette purple instead of blue because I felt like it suited him better. I don't know why. I just like it. I like purple for him. Purplish black instead of bluish black. Even though he's part Icewing. I just wanted that. And yes, I know he's also a hybrid, but I didn't care. He's my favorite villain. I would have picked him regardless. And I'm really... I played around with the lighting. I got more confident as I went. I actually did these in the order I'm, like, talking about, you know, that I'm doing them. That's the order I drew them in. And I felt more confident as I went doing different backgrounds and stuff. So, like, I'm playing around with lighting and things like that. So I'm really happy with how Darkstalkers turned out. You know, him looking at his scroll. And I almost forgot his teardrop scales, which I always seem to forget on him for some reason. I guess because I just associate him with the mind reading for some... Like, I associate him with the mind reading, but for some reason I also think of him as, like, the animus, not so much the mind reading for the mind reading for some reason. And I also have never drawn a candle in my life before, but I think it turned out pretty well. I played around with the lighting a lot. Just using that little light tool in the corner. Anyway, that's Darkstalker. Then my favorite ship, which you can judge me, I don't care. I really like this ship because I'm a fan of that, like, sarcastic character and that kind of sweet, sassy character. Like, I don't know. I really like that dynamic. And I think that most of the ships in Wings of Fire, honestly, crud. I'm sorry. Tui is not a good romance writer at all. Like, it's just there as filler subplot material. It's not interesting at all to me. It's actually one of my biggest issues with the series as a whole is just... Oh, we're back to Opal. Oh, well. There we are. I just don't like it. It's terrible. It actually throws my immersion in the story every time we have to have a new romance. I have to put the book down and go, here we go again. Ugh. But there are some romances I buy, some I like, some I'm like, why is this even being presented like this at all? It's not good. I don't like this. Cough, rip, Nami. Cough. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me, please. I have my reasons I can explain later, but I do like Glory and Deathbringer because it didn't break my immersion like the other ones did because it didn't end up being like a huge problem in the story. It was just an element that added some funny dialogue and it didn't mess with who the villain was. It didn't mess with any aspect of the story at all. It was just Deathbringer was always kind of like that and Glory was kind of like always like her, and she doesn't change her personality for Deathbringer at all. And I like something like Tsunami just changes her personality entirely for Riptide entirely. Like it's totally changed. She's not the same dragon when she talks to him, but when Glory talks to Deathbringer, she's the same exact dragon. She's like, dude, get lost. And he's like, I think I love you. And you know, it's cute. I really like it. And I know some people don't like this ship. I don't care. It's just, if I have to pick, and I would say then, I'm not like, yes, Glorybringer, I am ship it to like the moon and back. It's just, if I'm forced to pick a ship, and I wanted to include a ship on this list because I know people like the ships, then I have to pick this one because I do think it's the cutest, the most well done. Even if it's in the first series, I do think it's the most well written of all the relationships. Kept the characters in character and just added interest to them. So that's my reasoning behind it. If there's other ships you like, or if you like, you know, Riptide and Tsunami, that's fine. I'm not trying to like, you know, like that's fine. If that one worked for you, that's great. You know, I'm not mad at people who like this ship at all. And yeah, I kept Deathbringer the same. I can draw him pretty well a couple times. And then I just redesigned Glory a little bit, just a tad bit. I kept her color palette basically the same, just with a little bit of pink blushing spots. But she still has her flower crown. I was going to put silver on her back, but I decided not to, just because I wanted the focus to be on them. And yeah, everything else is basically the same here. She's got her green eyes and everything. So yeah, Glorybringer. Then we have my favorite hybrid, which is Whiteout. And yes, I did include both Darkstalker and Whiteout on this list. I just couldn't think of a hybrid I liked better. And I know a lot of people are going to end up probably doing Whiteout as well. I thought about doing Sunny, but I was like, no, I really like Whiteout the best. She's the most interesting hybrid character. She's she's just really cool. I like her. You know, I like her interesting personality. I like her interesting dialogue and mind, and she's just cool. You know, I know she's meant to have some kind of like mental, like, I don't know. She's meant to be mentally different for sure, but I appreciate it and I like it, and it's well done, and it's cute, and her every scene where she's on screen or on the book, you know, in the book, not on screen, but like in the book, is just really, really good. And I wish she'd get, you know, a winglet or something. It would be great. I really like Whiteout. And I totally redesigned her because I hated my last design of her. So I changed it a lot. I basically, the major thing that helped me here is I actually went with a Nightwing base design, as far as like, I used to make her more like an Icewing shape-wise, I guess is the better word for it. Instead, I did more of a Nightwing shape. And that ended up working for me. It clicked everything else in place, because then the Icewing elements are just scattered about, which I felt like was better. And I also did this entire piece, except for the line art, in blue. I know that sounds really weird, but I had to do it for her. It was actually a fun challenge, because I wanted to make all the blues distinct enough that you could, you know, it's obviously Whiteout. Whiteout's a bluish dragon. That's in canon. But the background, even that whitish color I'm using on her wings right now, that's also a blue. It's very, very lightly tinted blue, but it's blue. Even the silvers are lightly tinted blue. Everything. And I also did that little snowy freckle. I used to do it inverted, where it was up her belly instead of from the wing down, but I changed it so it would look a little bit more like Stalker, giving them another similarity, which I thought was neat. And little fades on her wings. I played around with until I was happy with. And yeah, I really ended up liking this piece a lot, and it was just really fun to try doing the whole thing in blue, because I know that color is so important to Whiteout. I like the symbolism of blue being a good color. It's cute. It's just so cute. It's one of the things that makes her unique, and it was fun to play around with. Oh, and the little freckles behind her eyes symbolize her powers that are hidden deep. So it's like a little spray of stars by her eye. And she got blue paint on her hand there, which I still can't draw talons, sorry. But that's Whiteout. I really love Whiteout. She's a good girl. Oh, I forgot. I did her wings, which I did like a paint splatter effect, and I liked it so much I kept it. But yeah, that's Whiteout. Then favorite tribe. Now, I don't have a favorite tribe at all. I like all the tribes and dislike them all basically equally, honestly. I can find things I like and dislike. I would say that, like, I don't know. I like them all and dislike them. I don't care about, like, I don't have a certain tribe that's like, yes, that's my favorite tribe. So I went with my favorite tribe to draw, rather than my favorite tribe actually, like, power-wise or something. So I went with Silkwings, because I like drawing Silkwings. And I also think Silkwings are fun because they're the easiest dragon other than a Rainwing to make unique. But I get sick and tired of every time I make a Rainwing, someone's like, but Rainwings aren't one color. And I'm like, it's hard to draw a color-changing dragon. They have to be some color when you draw them, right? So I like Silkwings because they stay a color, but they can be any color except black. But then if you make them a hybrid with a Nightwing or a Hivewing, you get the black. So it's like, yay, works. So I like Silkwings a lot. And I find them the easiest to draw, like I said. I don't know why that is. I just find their shapes easy to replicate. I don't know. And if you haven't guessed already, I drew Io here because she's my favorite Silkwing. So I felt fitting to do her. I also changed up her design almost. No, I kept some of the colors. I think I'm the only one who adds lime green to her design. I don't know why I do that. I just think she needs lime green. I like Io. She needs a book. I was really rooting for her to have the next book, but I guess it's Luna. Ugh. Really, really wish it had been Io, but maybe she'll get a book later. Who knows? Probably not. Maybe she'll get a winglet. That would be cool. Or a Legends if we're lucky. But yeah, I like Silkwings. I like that their powers are a bit varied. That they have, like the Flame Silk, which is fun. Kind of like the Skywings have some unique powers and stuff like that. I like that the Silkwings have that. It makes them feel interesting and unique and fun. You can play around with. And then they just have the regular silk, which I was also challenging myself to draw here. It's Io shooting some silk out of her wrist. I've never drawn Silkwing silk. I probably totally butchered it, but I don't care. I'll practice it. Io is also so pretty. That's like bonus to her character. Her character is what I like about her the most, but then it's just like icing on the cupcake that she's so gorgeous. I love indigo-y aqua colors. And the lime green's just like a nice little flair to her personality. And Silkwings are fun, and they're fun to draw. I like them. I think they need more attention. People just think of them as like these lame dragons, but they're not lame. They're really cool. And they've got cool powers. I think it's interesting. I like them. That's the Silkwings. She's just flying in the sky. My favorite protagonist is Kibble, of course, or Kibble, or however you pronounce it. I don't care. I always say it in my head, Kibbles, and that's who he is to me. I think it's technically Kibble, though. But if I say Kibble, just know that's who I mean. I don't know. I don't say Quibbly, though. Thank goodness. But he is my favorite protagonist. I know people get mad at his book, and sometimes they associate him with the bad book, but it's not a bad book at all until, like, Tui just throws away the ending a little bit to make it, like, extra sugary sweet happy like she usually does, which, it's fine. That's how the book goes. That's nothing you can do to change it, so, you know, we can analyze it, we can talk about it, but at the end of the day, it's not Kibble's fault the book ended that way, because, like, really, he was an amazing protagonist and a great foil to Darkstalker. It was wonderful. I loved like, how they're so similar in personality. I really like their interaction with each other. I really, really like how, like, Kibble is like the more humble, poor, powerless version of Darkstalker. You know, it's like if Darkstalker wasn't spoiled and had all this power, you know? Like, that's so cool. I also like how Kibble's unique because he's a smart character. He's a really smart boy, but he's not a book smart dragon, and he's not a nerd. Like, not nerdy in the sense of, like, he's not like Starflight, who likes to read, or Cricket or something. Which I don't think people realize you can do with a character, and smart characters are really hard to write, so I really like that Tui went with that, and it works so well. I just love Kibble. He's great. And I totally redesigned him, and I could not be happier with it. I feel like I finally nailed his shapes and his flippy hair that I always imagine him with. Plus, he's funny, which is great, but not annoyingly so. Like, people tend to, you know, write him, like, in memes and stuff like he's annoying, but he's really not. His humor is great, because he's still able to be very serious. In fact, sometimes he's more logical than Winter. But, like with the whole scavenger thing. But yeah, he's a good boy. I like him. He's also an honorary prince. Let's not forget that. And Sunny's honorary adopted brother, which is cool. And his little earring there. I don't know. I really like Kibble's book. And I really like Kibble as a character. He's my favorite boy. The ending was a little bit but, you know, I still like it. I also went with the whole, like, dark background for the darkness of dragons, ha 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 thing. I like how it turned out. I added a little bit of light at the end around his head so it kind of pops a little bit. But yeah, I was trying to play off of, like, the darkness of dragons. Kibble. Then we have my favorite queen, which I was going to do Thorn, because technically Thorn is my favorite queen, especially that was totally cemented after the last book, The Dangerous Gift, when she talks to Snowfall. But I went with my second favorite queen because I had a Sandwing right above this spot, and I didn't want to get rid of Kibble. So it's Sequoia. And I think Sequoia is underrated. Sequoia needs a Legends book. It should be like Sequoia, Hawthorne, and Wasp is what I really want. And I also really played around. This is my first time drawing Rain, by the way. So I really like how it turned out. I'll play around with that later in the future, hopefully. But I really like Sequoia as a character. She's really interesting. I like how... I also felt like she was supposed to, anyway, be like an example to Sundu in controlling anger, even though that didn't actually end up happening at all and was totally trashed. I really liked how Sequoia manages her anger, and she's a really good grandma. It's just so cute because we don't see good grandma relationships, and I think she's Hazel's great grandma, but still, it's just so cute. And I hope she doesn't, like, okay, I think they're setting it up, or Tui is, so that way Hazel ends up being queen. But I really hope that Sequoia makes it through and sticks around a little bit, or that we at least get a book that details, like, the Hawthorne Sequoia situation. Because they definitely, I think Hawthorne was in love with her. Whether or not they were actually mates is debatable. But I think she's, like, we don't know much about her, but I admire her strength and her anger management and her just being a good grandma and a good character who controls herself. Like, she's just so good. And she's so cool to draw with all her scars and her broken horn and everything. She's neat. She's definitely been through stuff, and I'd love to see more about her. I also really redesigned her a lot. I made her a little bit lighter green, and I also gave her some more natural-inspired jewels. I don't know what I was thinking on my last design, to be quite honest. Like, they live in the jungle after all. Why would she have a golden crown? I don't know. So I changed it. Well, they probably didn't at one time live in the jungle. I still decided to change it because it felt more appropriate to them, which is almost like, it makes me think a little bit more like Native American-ish type jewelry a little bit. Like, I know this isn't like that, but you know what I mean. I give it like wood elements, and those are like little tiny thorns around her neck. Like, instead of teeth like Tundra wears, they're actually like little thorns from plants and woven vines. So I don't know. I guess like that's probably the wrong word for it, but like, you know what I mean. Like, I gave it a natural edge that I wanted to it, not the golden glamour that the hive wings probably have, but not, well, no, they definitely have that, but not the leaf wings. I think of them as a little bit more practical now that I've had time to think about it. But yeah, I really, really like how Sequoia turned out, and I like Sequoia a lot. Also, her name is so cool. Kick butt. Most of the ones I do like have super cool names. Like, Kibble has an awesome name. And, like, that's just so unique. And then my favorite siblings, which is Tsunami and Turtle. And that one I also debated a little bit, but then it was pretty quickly decided more than some of the others that Tsunami and Turtle are my favorite. I like that they're opposite personalities, and I like that they actually have some time together, unlike some of the other siblings. I was thinking about doing the original 5 Dragonettes, but I don't know. I guess I just was like, yeah, a lot of people probably do that. And on top of it, I like the found family dynamic for sure, but I wanted to just do a sibling, duo here. And so I picked these two. I really like Turtle's just this constantly nervous and, charmingly humbled kind of dragon. And then Tsunami's just like full out on it kind of thing. And I love that. I really would love just like 5 chapters that Tui writes of them traveling across the ocean together to get to Pantala, because that would be just golden. It'd probably be Turtle being like, I'm so tired, Tsunami, can we slow down and eat? And Tsunami being like, come on, Turtle, kick your butt into gear. It would be really funny. I really like their interactions together. And then she's just like, I have a brother? Why didn't you tell me? And Coral's just like, who are you again? Poor Turtle. I would say I didn't like Turtle's book a lot, but I do like Turtle as a character. Once again, the whole ship thing also kind of ruined that book for me a little bit, ruined my immersion in the story, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to get into like the Turtle Jew debate again. But basically, I like Turtle as a character. I think it's funny that, like him with his magic and his stick and stuff is funny. And I do like him now, even though he's not magical anymore. It's still cool. He's still a good guy. And Tsunami's great. Tsunami's actually still one of my favorite characters, just based on her personality and her book alone. And yeah, I don't know. I really like these two. They're good. Sea Wings are hard to draw, though. Tsunami I redesigned not that long ago, so I kept her basically the same, but I keep like fiddling with the blue color I use on her. So this time I did a lighter blue, which I like better. And I like her shapes here a lot still. So, I might not stick with it. I'm not sure. I'm not great at drawing the same thing twice. But I do like Turtle now. I made him much rounder and plumper and chicken-y. I also play around with, the little, things under their chin on the Sea Wings. I actually play around with those a lot because sometimes I don't remember to put them, and then sometimes I'm like, I just don't feel like this dragon has them, and I know that's probably like so bad, but so it's like an on and off thing for me. I sometimes do them and I sometimes don't do them. Sorry. So Tsunami has them, just small ones. I imagine that the dragons that do have them, like they get bigger as they get older or something. So Tsunamis are tiny. And then Turtle doesn't have any. Maybe it's like a girl-boy dragon thing, but then again, I don't draw Anemone with them, so of course I haven't redrawn Anemone in a while either. But it's been a long time. I would probably redraw her entirely. But I also don't really care for, like, Tsunami and Anemone's relationship was fine in her book. It was great. But I did not care for Anemone after the Lost Heir. It was, like, not. Anemone just went downhill so fast. And I understand why, but she doesn't get better. Or at least she doesn't get better on screen or in the book when we're reading. You know, it's like a sub side thing that's like, oh yeah, Anemone's better. Like, thanks for that, Turtle. But anyway, I love these two. So, I did debate doing Anemone and Tsunami, but I really like them. Yep, and that's Turtle and Tsunami. And that's it. This is my, here in a second, once I erase all that. Ah, there it is. This is the finished art meme. So Cliff, my favorite dragonette after Snowfall. Opal, my favorite animus. Darkstalker, my favorite villain ever. My favorite ship, if you had, forced me to pick one, is Glorybringer. Favorite hybrid, Whiteout. Favorite tribes, Silkwings, to draw at least. And Io is my favorite Silkwing, for sure. Favorite protagonist is Kibble, hands down. Favorite queen after Thorn is Sequoia. And my favorite sibling dynamic is Turtle and Tsunami. And you can feel free to interpret these how you want. Like, if you want to draw, like, I don't know, Wasp as a dragonette and put her in that top box under dragonette, that's fine by me. You can find these under my DeviantArt, like I said, in my Pinterest account. You can fill these out, make a video on them. I don't care. It's a challenge. Challenge everyone. Use my template that I have there. It's fun. It's fun to just see what everyone's favorites are. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great time. I'll be back later with more content, but I hope this was fun. And if this is well received, I'll probably make another one in my style for the Warrior Cats as well. So stay tuned. Thanks, everyone. Bye.